Hello, welcome to Monday Morning Matters live broadcast show brought to you by Magnicraft Consulting team, anchored by Niyi Dunmade, a certified church consultant with the Society for Church Consulting in the U.S. Here, each Monday of every week, we address important, relevant, and actionable topics of interest that will help you and your church grow healthier. And now, meet your host, Niyi Dunmade.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you are. This is Niyi Dunmade. I'm live on Monday Morning Matters. Monday Morning Matters is sponsored by Magnicraft Consulting, and of course, Monday Morning Matters is supposed to sensitize the church, our church leaders on church health framework. And church health framework is a way by which we can help a church to navigate towards health. My take today is that if your church is not healthy, then there's a lot of things that can happen, a lot of symptoms, a lot of sicknesses, and we need to make sure that our churches are healthy. When the world is getting so bad with a pandemic influx, we need to make sure that our churches are perfectly okay. All right, today we'll be talking on something brief, and I need to make it very brief so that we can hit the ball rolling and move very fast. Today, I'll be talking on digital discipleship. Digital discipleship. Now, the church has been taken away from the four walls of the church, and what makes a church to actually decline is the inward focusedness, okay? Me, myself, and I. And God has seen us through a pandemic effect where the church has been taken away from the four walls of the church. Right now, a lot of our churches are digital. A lot of our churches are virtual, online. They are outside the walls of the church, and the kinds of people, the number of people, the caliber of people that they are talking to are more than the people they can sit in their auditoriums. And so we need to make sure that as we go out of our four walls to be outwardly focused, we need to also understand that the major reason why the church was instituted, the mandate that Jesus gave to the body, the mandate that Jesus gave to the church is to make matured disciples. Make matured disciples. The qualities of the disciples are enormous. If I was asking one of my fathers, and he gave quite a lot of lists, you must read your Bible, you must follow a master, you must be disciplined to imbibe the culture, you must be able to be accountable, you must be responsible, and also you must follow the doctrines of your master. But this is what Jesus gave to us in the body of Christ, that we should what? Disciple people. We should make mature disciples. Now you can imagine you going online, you are actually going to amplify the harvest you're going to get, because where we are right now, there are about 3 billion people who have not heard the gospel. And as we go out, there are going to be a lot of harvest or souls. And I've been hearing quite a lot of testimonies from a lot of quarters, because my ears are with the pastors. There are a lot of churches who are making tremendous impact. You might imagine someone in Nigeria making an impact in Malaysia, Indonesia, in America, doing midnight prayers. We are making a lot of impact. But we need to make sure that this impact is actually yielding a result of making matured disciples. Now, if you have a convert that you have in India, you have a convert who's in America or in South Africa, how do you that's your baby, that's your convert. Do you say because of distance, you are not going to disciple that person? I've done some distance learning that I didn't go to the four walls of the school, but I have the certificate. I didn't go to see anybody, but through technology, they were able to imbibe some traits, some doctrine, some culture, some mindset into me that I was so shocked that, you mean through the video, through technology, through the digital space, you can actually infiltrate, you can actually colonize, you can actually permeate whatever is your doctrine in the life of any individual. So let us utilize digital tools to shepherd, to care, to disciple, to indoctrinate all the converts we have in the church, regardless of the fact that I'm not saying that the physical building, you should not have physical follow-up or discipleship on assimilation. But when we are going online, we need to make sure that our online discipleship is such that it's top-notch in terms of preaching, in terms of training, in terms of teaching. Now, 3 things I want to just emphasize here when you are going to digital discipleship. Both parties, the discipler and the disciple, must understand the platform of communication. Then 2, what medium, the content must be clear. All right? The content must be clear, that this content will be coming through maybe voice note, or maybe during Zoom meetings, or Microsoft Teams, or whatever video tech that you have agreed to be able to disseminate some of this culture over a long period of time. Because whether you like it or not, the digital revolution has come to stay. The digital revolution has, so the content must be right. And if you need to help, for me to help you to develop a content whereby year in, year out, for like 3-4 years, you're actually rolling out some content to build, because building a disciple is one block at a time, so that you can have a content to be able to equip and empower a disciple to be strong, so that the person can be a discipler to disciple of others. Now, the rate at which we're having converts, technology is the only way at which we can. And of course, because everybody is busy, getting them to church with the lockdown is just not possible. So we need to make sure that we employ a technology that will help us to inculcate some of these values into every convert. Now, look at what I learned from Fortune 500 CEO survey, which was done. Fortune 500 CEO are the top 500 companies in the world who are doing so well. And they did a survey as a result of the pandemic on these CEOs, and see what they were able to say. Fortune 500 CEO survey results this year. Now, the first one was, the single most important thing the crisis taught me is what? One says working from home works. You can imagine. That means that they never thought that working from home will actually bring out a lot of results. For someone like me, working from home is like office to me. All right? Working from home works. Another one says a business cannot wait for the transformation it knows it needs. Even the church too cannot wait for the transformation it knows it needs. We need to leverage on technology to disseminate content whereby people's lives, spiritual lives, are built. The meaning of the word essential just come up alive. Because when you are in a crisis, what comes alive is what is the essential. What comes alive is what is very important to you. Okay? Crisis makes the word essential more meaningful. The other one says leadership and values matter always, but especially in crisis. Then the other question which I gave up, if you need the entire survey, I can send it out to you if you request that on a private chat to me. At my company, this crisis will have what effect on the pace of technological transformation? Can you see? About 75% says that it's going to accelerate a lot of things. Accelerate a lot of things. So we need to be ready as leaders that technology will disrupt a lot of things. And if you're not ready to get the digital skills, you're going to get outdated. And when you get outdated, of course, your church is declining. When your church declines, it's going to create some distress. When your church is in distress and you do nothing about it, I'm telling you, the church is going to die. So digital discipleship is the way to go, and it takes place online. And there are certain things you need to do to digitalize. You just, whatever you have done analog, find ways at which we cannot digitalize everything, but there are many things you can digitalize. You can do a FaceTime with your convert and pray with the person. You can do an outline, do Bible studies, have a reading plan at which the person is accountable. That's the other thing about this digital discipleship. We must find ways at which people are what? Accountable. Because the making of the disciple is not just one sermon on the pulpit. In fact, one of the things that has made some pastors to rethink their strategies that you cannot disciple anyone from the pulpit. You have 7 days a week and you just have one Sunday. Maybe the Sunday is just 3 hours in a day, and you preach maybe maximum 1 hour message in a week. that's not enough to make a disciple. Okay, you cannot make a disciple from the pulpit. From the pulpit, you make a disciple on a daily basis. Every day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and we must roll out content, digital content. Okay, digital content, and make sure that we find a way to digitalize our application. That okay, this is done. What next? That is done. What next? This is done. And then we find ways for accountability. Accountability. Now, the truth about it is that the boomers and the builders are really winding down in our churches, and millennials are coming up so strong, and the way they think, the way they absorb things are different. Millennials want to be a part of something that impacts the world and is larger than themselves. So they want to be part of something that is remarkable, and churches who want to remain relevant must seek technology as incumbent to their combined growth, not just a add-on to what is going on right now because of the pandemic. So I don't know, there's so much. If you want us to come help your church to set up what are the content, 4-year content plan, whereby you follow through those content. Those content are different topics. At some point, you have some one-on-one meetings, and then that will, because the truth about it is that most of us, we became who we are because of several years of some men of God who have poured into our lives, and we didn't know the impact of those pouring until right now that some of those things are shaping the way we think, shaping the way we talk, and things like that. So there must be a shift because the work habits have changed. Now, Sunday, which was supposed to be sacred, is no longer sacred. People are working on Sunday mornings. And so now that the service has gone online, there are a lot of people who are watching Sunday morning service, like a watch party or a replay, because they want to catch up maybe Saturday evening or Friday evening of what was said on a Sunday morning service. So there's a shift in work habits, and we need to employ that. We use digital discipleship to get the people to run at a pace. Somebody might be able to be hungry. The passion might be that in 6 months he has been able to cover something that someone has covered in 18 months. Okay, night after night, he's able to imbibe some of those things. And with digital discipleship, your pace is at the person who wants to assimilate. Okay, that is it. Please, if you have any questions, let me know. Give me a shout out on any of my page. I'll be glad to get any of your questions and then give you any of those questions, answers to those questions in any of those my channels, whether it is Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. Please go on my page. I've done a digital discipleship part 1. This is part 2. I'm going to do part 3. And part 3 will be more practical, because what I'm just saying is more of the theory, that digital discipleship. Go on my Facebook page, there's a digital discipleship part 1. Today is part 2. I'm going to do part 3. And please, if you have any questions, let me know. I'll be glad to get your questions anyway. So please, thank you for following me. I must appreciate all of you. I can see you. Thank you for following me and listening to me. I appreciate the time for listening. Thank you so much. And as usual, my name is Niyi Dunmade. I'm the CEO of Magnicraft Consulting, the certified church consultant with Society for Church Consulting. And please share my page, share my video to someone who needs it. I know someone that needs it in your purview will be blessed that you did. Thank you so much. God bless you. I see you another time. Thank you.